perhaps the most dangerous fishing method of all. 80 men, many of whom are still teenagers, are preparing to dive to over 40 meters. Breathing air pumped through these makeshift tubes by this rusty compressor. Joseph is one of the youngest aboard, but he's aware of the risks.
Pinakamahirap itong compressor kasi biglaan ang tama dito eh. Kasi yung free dive lang.
He's already witnessed just how lethal his job can be.
Siya yung kasama ko. Pero no sa way ng buhay. Hanggang namatay ho siya na-compress naman ho siya pero wala na rin, hindi na rin kaya. Nagpaalam na nga ho yun eh. Mahinga na daw siya.
The seas around the Philippines were once rich with life, but they've been so overexploited that decent fish numbers are only found at perilous depths. The divers guide the huge ball of nets 40 meters down to the sea floor, but all the while their air supply is at risk. Back on the boat, the ailing compressor and the ever-worsening tangle of tubes need constant attention. Like a failing heart pumping through clogged arteries, if this circulation system fails, at this depth, it's almost certain death. Joseph and the team unravel the nets and lay them out by securing them to rocks. They must work fast. Joseph knows the longer he spends at these depths, the more dangerous it becomes. With every breath, more nitrogen dissolves in his body, making him increasingly vulnerable to decompression sickness. The bends. The top of the net is suspended by plastic containers filled with air, creating a huge cavernous trap beneath. Now it's time to set the scare line. The boats drag the 1,000-meter line to form a huge circle around the net, and the divers position themselves along it. Joseph and the team begin closing the trap by swimming towards the net. The waving streamers and the curtain of rising bubbles panics the fish and they flee. As the line of divers tightens, more and more fish swim straight into the gaping net. This deep-sea roundup is so effective, it can take 50% of the fish from a reef. The net is closed, and now Joseph must do something even more dangerous. Get inside and herd the catch to the far end.
Gudla mo ng ganyan, siyempre may screen. Doon ka tatamaan ng niyan, hindi ka makakahon. Baka doon ka pamamatay sa lambat na yan. Kaya todo ingat din na hindi ka doon sa ilalim. On deck, the tangled web of tubes is getting worse.
Once the catch is concentrated, the net is released from its anchor points. Now comes the most lethal stage of all, guiding the net as it shoots to the surface. All too often, the divers ascend too quickly and get the bends. As the catch is hauled onto the boat, its size is revealed. Just under a ton of fish isn't bad, but it's nowhere near what these fishermen were landing a few years ago. And this isn't the only problem. Some of the crew do have the bends. One diver has returned to the bottom to relieve the symptoms, whilst closer to the surface, another is massaged to release the painful bubbles in his spine. Every day, these powerling divers are taking greater risks for dwindling rewards.